Welcome to the journey back to yourself. Take a deep breath and just listen, because what I'm about to tell you, it's not here by accident. There are moments in life when the universe whispers in its own mysterious ways, and this, right here, might be one of those moments. Ahead of you lies a shift, a turning point. It could be a great opportunity, a hidden truth revealed, or a change so unexpected you've never dared to imagine it. But don't be afraid. Everything that's coming is here for one reason only: to awaken the fire that's been waiting inside you all along. And when you're ready, truly ready, to listen to the quiet calling of your own soul, let me take your hand and guide you deeper into the heart of the story, to the very place where it all begins. Dear Aries, the exhaustion you feel right now, it doesn't mean you've grown weaker. It isn't simple fatigue. It isn't because you've lost your drive. It's the sign of a fire within you, a fire that's been held back for far too long. A flame that has never gone out, only buried under the dust of responsibilities, unspoken wounds, and the roles you've forced yourself to play just to survive. You keep moving forward every day. You try to be strong. You smile as if everything is fine. But deep down, there's a part of you knocking on the door. A part of you that can't stand pretending anymore. A part that's calling you home, back to yourself. In Buddhist teachings, they call this moment awakening, when life places a mirror before you, forces you to look deeply into your soul and asks, do you really want to keep living the same way? Aries, you've gone too far, run too fast, carried too much. You've shouldered responsibilities that were never yours to bear. You've stayed silent to keep the peace, and ignored yourself just to hold on to what was already fading. And in that silence, your fire began to dim. But hear me now. You were not born to go dark. You were born to blaze, to push past your limits, to realign the universe inside you. There are moments in life when the universe forces you to choose. Stay in the safe version of yourself that has long expired, or step into your own light, where you must finally face what you've been avoiding for so long. This is that moment, Aries. Don't confuse restlessness with failure. Don't mistake exhaustion for defeat. This is a calling, a whisper from your soul, asking you to awaken, to finally see what you've been hiding, to remember who you truly are. Stop for a moment, close your eyes, listen to the sound of your heartbeat. Beneath the wounds, beneath the armor you've worn for so long, there is still something burning. That is your truth. That is the fire you were born to carry. I know, Aries, you're tired of holding it all together. You've gotten used to enduring, to staying quiet, to putting yourself last, just to keep everything from falling apart. But here's the truth. The things you've been clinging to, they've been cracking for a long time now. You weren't meant to keep them forever. You were meant to learn how to let them go. There are circles in life that are meant to close. People, memories, wounds. It's time to return them to where they belong. Not because you're weak, but because you are finally strong enough to know what no longer aligns with your soul. This is your turning point. Aries, in Buddhism, they call it breaking attachment, releasing what you once believed was unshakable, so you can discover a path far wider, far brighter than before. And along this journey, you'll realize a powerful truth. No one can live your life for you. No one can carry your forgotten dreams. No one can save you from the darkness but you. Give yourself a moment of stillness, Aries. Sit quietly. Listen to the parts of you you've been hiding. Don't fear the tears. Don't fear the trembling of your heart, because it's in those tremors that your soul leads you back to the purest version of who you are, and soon you'll see it. Exhaustion is not the end. Restlessness is not failure. They are simply signals that a new chapter is about to begin. We often think we need to have every step planned out. We want certainty before we move. But in truth, every awakening begins with chaos. When everything around you seems to be falling apart, that is when the universe whispers, it's time now, it's time to return to yourself. Aries, you were never meant to live a small life. You were born to love deeply, to create miracles, to walk proudly on the path that was always meant for you. Don't shrink back just because you're afraid to change, because if you deny the fire within you, you'll lose the very thing that makes you you. Remember this. You are not your failures. You are not your wounds. You are not your missed chances. You are rebirth waiting to be named. And if you feel stuck in an old version of yourself, if you feel a flame inside you longing to break free, share it, speak it out loud. Let your words become proof that you are still alive. Because right now, Aries, you are standing at the threshold of a brand new journey. The universe has already begun ringing the bell, and its sound will reach you in many ways. Sometimes it comes as an unexpected jolt, a disruption that seems meaningless at first, but powerful enough to make you stop, look closer, and awaken. Later you'll understand it was always part of the plan. It was meant to lead you back to the path that was always yours. And when that moment comes, everything will start to shift, slowly, quietly, but without fail, as if the universe is leaning in and whispering, "You're ready now, Aries, open your eyes and receive." There are moments in life when everything seems steady, and then suddenly a disruption arrives. It stops you right in the middle of your flow. No one ever asks for these jolts, yet sometimes this is how the universe whispers. It's time to look deeper within yourself. A shift in your finances can make your heart tighten, an unexpected loss, a delayed payment, an expense you didn't see coming. And in that instant, it feels as if the ground beneath you has begun to shake. But breathe, stay calm. This is not punishment, it's a signal. Money for many is just numbers on a page, bills, debts, savings, or abundance. But beneath the surface, on the level of energy, money mirrors how you value yourself and what you give your power to. In Buddhist teachings, there's a principle called instant karma. What you plant, you harvest. But sometimes the lesson doesn't come as a reward. It arrives as an awakening. Look closely at what's unfolding. Have you been giving too much of your energy to things or people that don't give back? Have you been pouring your value outward and forgetting to keep any of it for yourself? This financial shake-up, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that it's time to choose again, to choose where your energy flows, to choose what and who is truly worthy of your time, your heart, and your effort. For years, many of us were taught that sacrifice is noble, that putting everyone else first makes us good. So we give everything, our strength, our love, even our dreams, only to wake up one day and realize we're empty. If you feel that emptiness now, remember this. This isn't failure. This is an invitation to return to your own worth, whether it's a sudden loss or an unexpected gain. This moment doesn't come to judge you. It comes to ask one quiet question. Are you living in alignment with who you really are? Because money is just energy made visible. When you keep investing your energy in what drains you, it shows up as scarcity in your finances, in your heart, in your spirit. But when you begin to choose differently, doors you never imagined start to open. And yes, there will be a gift hidden inside this shift. Maybe a refund you weren't expecting. Maybe a business opportunity. Maybe a single idea born in the middle of struggle, an idea that could change everything. It isn't luck falling from the sky. It's a seed that can't grow if you keep pouring yourself into what no longer serves you. But if you pause, if you nurture it, if you place yourself where your soul truly belongs, that seed will grow. It will become a tree, one that gives shade, fruit, and shelter for years to come. Ask yourself this: what truly brings value to my life? What fills my heart with peace beyond just filling my wallet? Because sometimes what looks like loss is actually freedom. Sometimes what seems like a golden opportunity is a hidden trap. And sometimes what you need isn't more, it's right. If you've ever lived through a financial shock, you know that moment when your chest tightens, your breath catches, and you feel as if the ground has disappeared beneath you. But then when you make it through, you realize something powerful. Those jolts force you to stop, to reassess, to choose a life that feels more honest, more aligned with your soul. And maybe this moment is exactly that. Maybe it's here to remind you that you are worthy of more than what you've been settling for. Don't let the fear of loss drag you backward. Look at the bigger picture. The universe never takes without giving back. It always trades what no longer serves you for something truer, brighter, and more aligned. But that gift only appears when you're willing to change. I know change is never easy. Stepping out of what's familiar always makes the heart tremble. But remember, every disruption is an invitation to rebalance your energy. Allow yourself to learn this lesson gently. Don't punish yourself for giving too much. Don't shame yourself for past choices. Thank the version of you that tried so hard, and give the version of you today a chance to live with more awareness, more alignment, more grace. If you've walked through a financial shock that changed everything, share your story, because someone out there, standing at the first crack in their own safe walls, might find their courage in your words. And as you begin to realign your energy, you'll notice something. Everything around you begins to shift too, not just your finances, but your relationships, your choices, your entire perspective. And sometimes in the very moment you finally choose yourself, the universe chooses you back. Because when your energy begins to move, truths that were hidden start to rise. There are things you'll have to face, even as your heart trembles. There are faces you once trusted completely. But now the curtain begins to fall. And sometimes, the deepest touch of destiny doesn't come from the outer chaos, but from a truth you never wanted to face. There are truths in life that don't knock on your door, that don't send a warning. They arrive uninvited, and they always come in the moment you least expect. They appear like a crack on a wall you thought was unshakable, and suddenly everything you've known collapses. The person you once trusted, the one you gave your heart to, the one you leaned on, becomes the center of your deepest pain. On days like these, you feel the weight pressing against your chest. You find yourself whispering, "Why them? Why now?" But when the storm of emotions begins to settle, you'll see it differently. This isn't punishment, it's a gift disguised by the universe itself. In astrology, when your inner energy shifts, everything that no longer matches your frequency is naturally pushed away. It could be someone you once loved deeply. It could be a bond you thought was irreplaceable, or a belief you've carried for far too long. The unveiling of truth is the awakening your soul has been waiting for. You will cry, you will feel lost, as if the entire world around you has suddenly changed shape. But don't mistake this for loss. Sometimes losing someone false is the universe making space for the souls that truly belong to you. In Buddhist teachings, there's a concept called awakening through suffering. Pain becomes the mirror. It strips away illusions and shows you what's real and what's only been a fragile mask. It forces you to let go of the stories that have trapped your heart for too long, and only when everything shatters do you finally see the gem hidden beneath the rubble. This pain isn't here to destroy you. It's here to open your eyes to see that love doesn't always mean holding on. Open your eyes to understand that truth, no matter how sharp it cuts, always carries the seed of healing. Because no freedom is ever born out of lies, and no real happiness is ever built on illusions. You may come to realize something difficult. You gave your heart to someone who never knew how to hold it. But instead of blaming yourself, choose gratitude. Be grateful to the version of you who dared to love, to trust, to give the most honest parts of your soul. That innocence doesn't make you weak, it makes you human, and this wound, this heartbreak, is what's shaping you into a wiser, stronger, and more luminous version of yourself. Remember this, betrayal doesn't create the truth, it only reveals it. People can only hide in shadows for so long, and when your light grows brighter, the darkness around you has no choice but to show itself. This is how the universe clears the path before leading you to where you truly belong. So give yourself a pause, sit down, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let everything that no longer belongs fall away, like autumn leaves drifting gently from their branches. You don't need to chase, you don't need to explain, you don't need to prove who was right or wrong, because what is left has been gone for a long time. Don't ask if you're enough. You always were. What's leaving isn't rejecting you, it's simply no longer aligned with who you're becoming. This parting doesn't define your worth, it only confirms one thing: your soul is ready to rise to a higher frequency. So allow yourself to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, forgiveness is putting down the weight, so your heart can move forward, unburdened and unbound. If you've ever faced a moment when the truth shattered your world, you know what it feels like, when the ground gives way beneath your feet. But later, when you look back, you'll see it clearly. That was the moment you started finding yourself again. It's the moment you stopped living by someone else's script and started breathing from your own light. The universe works in mysterious ways. It takes away what you thought you couldn't live without, only to place in your hands gifts far deeper, far truer than you ever imagined. All it asks is that you walk through this chapter with an open heart. And if today you're standing in front of a truth that shakes you to your core, remember this: you are not alone. Share your story, because somewhere out there, someone standing in their own storm may find strength in your voice. When one heart dares to tell its story, it gives permission for others to begin their healing. And then in that quiet moment, when you finally release the grip, when you stop clinging to what was never truly yours, you'll feel it. A space opens inside you, but it isn't emptiness. It's room for the light to step in, and that space is the doorway, a passage into a landscape you've never set foot on before, a place where new opportunities, new connections, and new beginnings are waiting for you. All you need is the courage to keep walking, because sometimes, just when you think everything has fallen apart, that's the very moment a new door, quietly, gently, mysteriously, swings open, inviting you into the path you were always meant to find. Sometimes, the biggest turning points in life don't arrive with noise. There are no fireworks, no grand signs, no obvious miracles. They come softly, like a quiet knock in the middle of the night, just enough to make your heart pause. And in that stillness, you know, something is calling you closer. An opportunity is unfolding before you. It might be a journey pulling you far away from your comfort zone, an unexpected offer of collaboration, or a personal project that feels too big for who you believe you are right now. Whatever shape it takes, deep inside you'll recognize it. Your heart will beat to a different rhythm. But the moment this opportunity appears, another feeling rises within you. It's strange, a delicate mix of fear and excitement, of hesitation and longing. Your chest tightens, your breath stumbles, your hands tremble ever so slightly. That's how you know you're standing before a threshold, a doorway where every step forward will open a world you've never known. In Buddhist teachings, there's a concept called fearlessness. Not because all dangers vanish, but because you realize something deeper. The greatest risks often hide the most precious gifts. The universe rarely hands you opportunity dressed in comfort. Instead, it wraps its blessings inside layers of challenge. Just to make sure, only the bravest hearts, the ones truly ready, will reach for them. Ask yourself, how long have I been walking the same safe roads just because they are familiar? How many times have I denied my own desires just because I was afraid of not being good enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough? And if today, a new opportunity appeared before you, one filled with risk, but also overflowing with potential, would you take that step? I understand. Leaving your comfort zone is never easy. It's where you know how to survive, where you know what's coming next, where you believe you have control. But Aries, you weren't born just to survive. You were born to expand, to experience, to test the very edges of your own limits. This opportunity isn't only about work, money, or status. It's a mirror held directly up to your heart, asking you one simple question. Do you dare to live a life that's truly yours? True freedom doesn't come from avoiding risk. It comes from choosing yourself, even when the path ahead feels uncertain. It's the moment you understand that even without all the answers, you still have the right to move forward with steady feet and a heart full of faith in who you are. And yes, opportunity often comes with unexpected shifts. You might have to leave behind the familiar people, places, and routines that once felt like home. You may face the doubts of others. You may even face your own. But remember this: the tallest walls in life exist for one reason: to test the strength of the fire burning within you. Picture a door standing right before you. On the other side lies a world you've never seen, full of possibilities, experiences, and risks you've never faced before. You're standing there, listening to your heartbeat pound inside your chest. You know you could turn back, return to the safety you've always known, but you also know, if you do, a quiet question will haunt you forever. What waited for me on the other side of that door? In moments like this, the universe always whispers, softly but firmly, step through, you are ready. And when you do, you'll discover something powerful. The greatest fear is never about what lies ahead. It's about missing the life you were meant to live. Trust your intuition. Trust that restless pull inside your chest. Trust the quiet, steady calling of your soul, because the opportunities written into your destiny always find their way to you right when you're ready to grow into the bigger version of yourself. So if right now you're standing at a crossroads, give yourself a moment of stillness. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, place your hand on your heart, and ask, what makes me feel alive? What makes me feel truly here? And when your heart answers, trust it. Step forward, even if your knees tremble, because here's the truth: big doors don't open until you're ready to walk through them. And if today this door stands ajar, then know this: you are strong enough to enter. If an opportunity appeared right now, risky, uncertain, but full of promise, what would you do? Would you retreat to protect your comfort zone? Or would you place your trust in the quiet calling of your own soul? Share your story, because your courage today might become the strength someone else needs tomorrow. And when you finally step through, Something beautiful begins to happen, not because the world changes, but because you do. The familiar begins to look different, your priorities shift. Your choices grow clearer, you stand taller, freer, and closer to yourself than ever before. But this journey isn't over, because beyond every door that opens, there's always another path waiting. A path that no longer revolves around the outside world, but instead guides you inward to the deepest part of who you are, to the place where you begin learning how to touch the essence of your truest self. Not every journey is meant to take you somewhere new. Some journeys are born just to lead you back to yourself. And this moment, deep within your heart, is one of those journeys. You've spent so many days holding on to relationships that have gone cold, holding on to roles that no longer fit, holding on to old beliefs that have kept your heart heavy and tired. But one day you realize the things you've been clinging to no longer bring you life. They no longer make your soul move. That's when the whisper comes, soft and steady from deep within. It's time to let go. Letting go doesn't mean you're weak. Letting go is an act of self-love. Because to keep what no longer belongs to you, you've been sacrificing too much, your energy, your peace, and even the quiet voice inside. And if you keep holding on, you'll lose sight of who you truly are. In Buddhist teachings, there's a beautiful concept called release. Release doesn't mean abandoning or rejecting. Release is opening your heart and returning to life, the things that are no longer meant for you. When you learn to release, you set yourself free. Aries, you've been strong for too long, fighting battles that had no name. You've held on to relationships that deep down you knew had already reached their ending. You've endured jobs and roles just to prove your worth to others, forgetting that your worth was never something they could decide. And today, the universe gently holds up a mirror, inviting you to see the truth. You are already enough. You weren't born to please everyone. You didn't come here to shrink yourself into molds the world built for you. You were born to shine, to light up the world in your own way, and your light needs no one's permission, but to let that light blaze. There's a lesson you must learn: boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. Boundaries are circles you draw around your heart to protect what's sacred, your energy, your values, your peace. When you set boundaries, you're teaching the world how to treat you. Yes, you may feel lonely at first. When familiar faces drift away, you may feel empty. When the roles you've worn for so long begin to fall away, but don't fear that emptiness, because only in the space you create can new things enter, new people, new opportunities, new connections that truly align. Rebirth doesn't come with noise. It doesn't rush in. It unfolds quietly, like dawn spilling light into the darkest corners of your being. It's the moment you stop chasing validation from the outside and finally see for the first time that you are enough. Picture a garden. For years, you've cared for the same old trees, even though they stopped blooming long ago. You've poured your time, your sweat, even your tears into soil that no longer nourishes you. But today, you stand in that garden and realize it's time to clear the withered roots, time to prepare the soil for seeds yet to come. You're not betraying your past by doing this. You're simply making room, give your future a chance. This journey will require courage. You'll need to stand before the mirror and face everything you've avoided, the cracks, the scars, the mistakes. And yet, in those reflections, you'll see something deeper, the strength to begin again. Right from the ruins, when you return to your true self, life feels softer. The relationships you choose won't come from fear of being alone, they'll come from resonance. The work you do won't feel like obligation, it will flow from creation. The money you welcome won't just be numbers, it'll be the reflection of the energy you've sent into the world. Now, ask yourself gently, what makes my heart come alive? And then just listen. Don't search for the answer in expectations, in standards, or in the noise of others. The answer has always been here, in every heartbeat, in every dream you've set aside, in every quiet longing you've hidden away out of fear of judgment. And when you touch that truth, a strange, deep peace washes over you. You'll realize you've never really lost anything except illusions. You never lost your worth. You only forgot it for a while. Aries, you're learning to choose yourself, not with loud declarations, but with quiet, steady decisions. You're learning to love yourself, not with pretty words, but by no longer forcing yourself to stay where love no longer lives. If right now you're learning to let go of something, share your story, because maybe your story will be the small lantern guiding someone else through their darkest night. And then, As you find this freedom, something magical begins to happen. You'll realize the universe never forgot you. It's been waiting for you to return to yourself. And when you do, it hands you the gifts you've always deserved. New doors will open. New souls will find you. Unexpected opportunities will step in. Because when you finally live in alignment with who you truly are, the world begins to shift with you. And that's when you'll understand. The gift the universe prepared long ago has been waiting for you all along. Not every ending means loss. Sometimes an ending is simply the way the universe opens a new beginning, one that's purer, wider, and truer to your soul. And this moment, Aries, this is where you touch that point of balance in your journey, where the noise of the outside world begins to fade, so you can finally hear the whispers within. Through all these years, you've learned how to walk through storms, how to survive losses, how to face challenges you once thought you'd never overcome. You've been through the moments when you felt your weakest, but in truth, those were the very moments your strength was forged. And now, after everything, you stand at the threshold of a new space. A place where life is no longer a race to prove your worth, but becomes a deeper experience of who you truly are. This balance, it doesn't come from holding on to more, achieving more, or winning more. It comes from letting go of the need for approval, letting go of the fear of being left behind, letting go of the expectation you've carried for so long just to keep everyone else happy. In astrology, when an old cycle closes, the universe always leaves an open space, and it's within that emptiness that a new reality begins to bloom. To step into that space, Aries, you'll need courage. The courage to believe you deserve a life bigger than the one you've known. The courage to choose yourself, even when others may not understand. The courage to live your truth, even if the world isn't ready to receive it. And now, you begin to feel it, a quiet shift inside you. A deeper sense of purpose awakening. No more chasing validation from the outside. No more running endless races to prove you are good enough. Because now you understand your worth was never in their eyes. It has always been here, in your breath, in your choices, in the way you love yourself. From this day on, you no longer live to prove. You live to experience. You live to love. You live to burn with everything you are. You live to savor mornings, to feel the raindrops on your skin, to notice the smallest moments you used to overlook while chasing everything outside of you. This is the stage where you realize the greatest journey in life isn't about conquering the world, it's about returning to yourself. You begin to treasure silence. You start finding peace, not by controlling the chaos, but by becoming still inside it. You breathe deeply and you smile, not because everything is perfect, but because you know right here, right now, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Picture a sunrise, the very first light, touching the dewdrops on the leaves. The world around you is quiet, but in that silence, you feel new life awakening. That's the moment you're stepping into now. A dawn inside your soul, no more forcing, no more hiding, no more wearing masks, just to fit in. Here, at this point of balance, you finally see the simplest truth. You are enough. Enough even if you're not perfect. Enough even if you're still unfinished. Enough simply because you are you. And this truth is the foundation of your freedom. This freedom isn't loud. It arrives quietly, woven into your daily choices, in the times you dare to say no to what drains you and say yes to what sets your heart on fire. It's in the courage to walk a path no one has walked before, and to trust the flame inside you to light the way. And then you'll see what leaves your life was never truly a loss. It's simply space for something better to arrive. The relationships that remain will deepen. The opportunities that open will align, and the dreams you once hid away will finally have room to grow. If you're hearing these words right now, know this: you've come so far. Whether you see it or not, your heart has grown stronger. Through every trial, you've learned to rise after every fall, to smile through the pain, to love yourself, even when the world didn't know how. And this journey, it's not ending. It's only just beginning. Because once you find your balance within, you stop searching for answers outside. You become the source of your own light, and that light will guide you forward, not just for you, but for others still wandering in the dark. Thank you, Aries, for walking this path with me. Thank you for being brave enough to face yourself, for allowing your soul to move through the shadows and find its dawn. I wish you courage to keep choosing yourself, and I wish you love to keep your fire alive, the fire that will always guide you home to who you truly are.